Hello friends, welcome. In today's video we are doing a roundup concealer video. Exciting, I promise this. These are all the concealers that I tried this year that has launched this year, so I'm ranking them from least favorite to most favorite, and yeah, we're going to apply them on and then just chit chat some best of a concealer so far of 2023. If this is your first time passing by, I am Gigi. I love to talk about new releases and makeup. If you enjoy that kind of content, do make sure to click on there where it says subscribe and also go to my other socials for a little bit more beauty. And without further ado, let's begin. Alright friends, let's get started. And I am filling myself with this top and the grungy makeup and lip, loving it all. So before we start, let's talk about what I look for in a concealer and my makeup preferences. I have acne prone skin, I have combination skin, I have deep set of dark circles, and I love to conceal them. My preference is medium to full coverage, and I do not have dry under eyes, so I don't battle with that. But I do like a concealer to be hydrating. I don't want the concealer to really sink onto my little lines, and I like it to be flawless but covered. On my glam days, I love to color correct, not on an everyday basis, but I love color correctors. That's like big for me because of the darkness of my dark circles. I love the Huda Beauty latest color corrector, which this was one of the releases, but I didn't want to mix it up with this because, you know, it's not a concealer, but I love it. I really enjoy it. Right now, I don't have any color corrector, and you're gonna see at the end what concealer I am wearing. The thing to keep in mind is that every concealer that I have here, the 7 that are in front of me, I love and I use for different reasons. So they're all good concealers, but you know, some need to rank low and some high. The only concealer that I'm going to add, to add to this ranking, and I do not personally have, is this one by Makeup Forever, and this is gonna be my number 8. I do not like this concealer. I don't have a clip to show you because I returned it, and so that goes to show if I don't have it here, I don't need it, I don't want it. I tested this concealer when it first launched. This is the HD Skin Smooth and Blur Undetectable Eye Concealer. Claims to be feather-like buildable concealer that is going to smooth and brighten and correct the under eyes for 24 hours. To be honest, the consistency of that concealer is way too light. It was very sheer for me. It was pretty much non-buildable. It was not workable. You know, I really like my concealers to, as I mentioned, to cover my dark circles. This did not build up to medium even, and so that's why it's not here. I don't like the concealer. I felt like it was just too light of a coverage. I didn't particularly feel like it lasted 24 hours on my under eyes. I don't know. The HD line, this line, the foundation and concealer do not go well with my skin preference and whatever makeup application. So both the foundation and the concealer did not work out. So ranking in number 7, it is the LYS Triple Fix Brightening Concealer. I have the shade MG5, and this is a luxurious, rich, ultra creamy concealer that helps visibly brighten, conceal, and nourish the complexion with a skin-like finish. The coverage is meant to be full with a natural finish. It has turmeric, it has hyaluronic acid, and it has ashwagandha, which is going to act as a powerful herb to help combat skin stress and visibly signs of aging. The texture of this concealer, it is extremely lightweight, and I love it for the no makeup days. I don't feel like I get a ton of coverage with it, but if I use a corrector, I'm okay with this. In every single of these concealers, I've show you without setting the under eyes and then setting it with a light layer of my Huda Beauty Pound Cake setting powder. So every single one of them are set with the same powder. So this is a swatch of the LYS one. the texture of it is creamy. It is very nice and hydrating, and I don't know if you could appreciate on, you know, my demo how brightening it looks. It looks very brightening, very healthy, very hydrating to the under eyes. It's hydrating, but it doesn't sink into them, which is really nice. So this is a very good concealer. It's just something that I don't reach for so much because it doesn't have enough coverage for me. Ranking in number 6, we have Valentino 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Concealer. I have the shade MA2, and this is a multi-use creamy lightweight concealer that delivers medium coverage and brightens skin radiance for a crystalless finish that lasts all day. The coverage is meant to be medium, and this is how it blends to be. I like to build up this concealer. It has a very lightweight formula, but I don't find it to be even medium coverage. To me, is light. The LYS has more coverage than this, so that's why you see me applying a little bit more because it truly needs it. I love this concealer because of the lightweight properties and how buildable it is, and how flawless it looks on my under eyes. I really like it. You can see LYS on my left, you can see Valentino on my right. You can take, you know, a better idea on coverage, but these two concealers, in my opinion, are very, very similar. They act very similarly, but Valentino tends to be a little bit more blurring and just soft underneath the eyes, and that's why I really like this. This, to swatch even, is less coverage than the LYS. Like, the swatch gets to be a little bit sheer. LYS has more coverage, but Valentino, I feel like it is a little bit more hydrating. It looks a little bit more glowy. Whenever I show you, I didn't set it. I don't know if you could see, if you could appreciate how glowy Valentino looked. It is quite glowy, but when you set it, it's there for good. It lasts a good amount of time, and I love it. It has skin-caring ingredients, both of them. Most concealers lately do. They all have very nice skin-caring ingredients for the under eyes. They're pretty much meant to be an eye cream concealer situation, so that's good. Moving on to Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating Concealer. This is meant to be a lightweight, long-wearing, non-comedogenic concealer that does more than cover. It visibly blurs, it depuffs, it brightens, and conceals with medium buildable coverage. I really like this concealer, but I hate the texture of it. Somehow on my brain, it just seems like it's too creamy. It doesn't really spread out as good as I want it to spread out. I feel like I'm dragging the brush, and that's like my main issue with this. I don't know, I am continuing to use it. I am continuing to, you know, just try to love this texture, but I don't know if I'll get past that. It is ranking in number 5 because it has an amazing coverage, and I love that in a concealer. I do have the shade 30 Medium Peach. To swatch, you're gonna be able to see that it's so thick, and it's truly one of my highest coverage concealer. Like, even if I go to blend it out, you can't really see through that swatch. It is very, very thick. It also tends to be a little heavy if you apply too much, so I have to be very careful with the amount of concealer that I applied. I tend to be very heavy-handed with my concealer. That's just how I am. So if I apply too much of this, it'll crease, and I mentioned that in my review. If you wanted to take a look at that review, it's up in the cards. But yeah, that was a main issue that I have with this concealer because of the texture and how creamy it is. It tends to just sit heavy on those little lines over there. Ranking in number 4, we have Givenchy Prism Libre Skin Caring 24-Hour Hydrating Correcting Creamy Concealer. This is a revolutionary hydrating 24-hour wear concealer. It is formulated with 95% natural origin ingredients that conceals, corrects, and cares for the skin. The coverage is medium and the finish is radiant. It has plant-based glycerin, which is gonna offer 24 hours of hydration. It have capuchin extra, which is going to add radiance and enhances natural glow of complexion, and it also have cornflower complex, which is going to decongest and smooth the skin. You can see that the coverage of this concealer is very nice. I love it. It's not too much, it's not too little. It has a beautiful medium coverage. It's very reliable. I love this concealer because it's not going to congest my pores. You know, same for the House Labs though, it is non-comedogenic, so I look for things like that whenever I buy a concealer. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to work on my under eyes and my face because sometimes I'm rushing and I just want this and go. So I find that the Givenchy one does that for me, and I appreciate that about him. I love the texture of it. I love how long wearing it is. I love how easy to spread it is. This is a beautiful concealer. I love how creamy it is, and I mostly love how full coverage it is. It is truly a medium buildable to full coverage concealer. I feel like it's reliable. It doesn't sit heavy on my little smile lines. It lasts all day. It has skincare ingredients as well. It is very hydrating to the under eyes. So this is also a concealer that I feel like is very hydrating. The House Lab you know, claims to be hydrating. I don't find it to be hydrating, to be honest. This is hydrating to my under eyes. Like, I feel, you know, like I set my concealers always. I never not set them, so I could truly see when something is hydrating. This, it cracks a little bit and it sits heavy on my lines. This does not do that. Number 3, we have Dior Forever Skin Correct Full Coverage Concealer. I have the shade 3W, and this is a transfer proof full coverage concealer that delivers up to 24 hours of wear and hydration. It visibly corrects blemishes and reduces the look of under eye circles. The coverage is full. It has iris extract, which is going to hydrate and maintain hydration of the skin. It has wild pansy extra, which is going to comfort skin. It also has nasturtium extract, which is known for revitalizing properties. I love this concealer. This is one of my go-to favorite concealers in my collection. I didn't think that I love it as much as I do. Now that, you know, you have a lineup of concealers, you could see what I reach for the most, and this is truly one of them. It looks flawless underneath the eyes. It has amazing coverage. I don't feel like it has full right off the bat, but if I, you know, if I keep building, truly full coverage, and if I color correct, one layer will do. It never creases, it never settles on my lines. It looks beautiful and radiant. I could use it all over my face, which I appreciate. It's that not congest my pores because it has no pore clogger ingredients. This is such a beautiful concealer. I love it. I love it's hydrating. I just love that. Let's go ahead and do a little swatchy. I have this shade. Is a little deep, but I like it. I really like it. You can see that it's quite peachy and, you know, a little bit deeper than the other, a little bit more yellow, but this is it. This is it for me. I love the color. I love the texture. It is creamy. It just provides everything that I'm looking for when it comes to a concealer. This was reformulated by Dior, but I don't feel like they mess it up, this reformulation. This was one of the good reformulations from Dior. Number 2, we have newest Gucci multi-use crease proof and hydrating concealer. I have the shade 35W. This is a concealer that's gonna conceal imperfections and brighten the complexion with lasting medium to full coverage. The coverage is full. It has black rose oil and hyaluronic acid, contain soothing properties that leave skin feeling hydrating and comfortable all day. It has camellia flowers, smooth out the appearance of skin in the under eye area, and it has film formers, which is going to provide a skin blurring effect, natural looking glow, and coverage that stays in place. I did recently review this concealer and I love it. I love it. I love that it's very blurring to the under eyes. I love the texture of it. I love that it's so lightweight, but yet it covers. So this is also a concealer that I apply whenever I do a no makeup day. You know, no makeup days, this is good. It's hydrating. It covers enough, but I tend to always, if I'm not color correcting, I just apply it a little bit more right where the darkness picks through, and then this is good. It looks flawless. It just looks flawless. And this is the concealer that I'm wearing throughout this video in the right side of my eye. this is it. And you're gonna find out number one just now, which is Natasha Denona Concealer. And take a look at these under eyes. So I have Gucci over on this side and then Natasha over on this side. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. Comment down below and let me know if you see a difference and which under eye you like better. But let's talk about Miss Natasha Denona. Actually, no, let's actually take a little look at Gucci's texture. So in my review, you can find every detail of this. I did a wear test on it. This has such a lightweight coverage. You know, concealer is such a lightweight. It really, you can really see through this swatch, you know, like it's very sheer, but it's very buildable. It also has beautiful, you know, hydrating ingredients, and it just looks very flawless underneath the eyes. I never feel like it's too cakey. It's settled on my fine lines, you know. I'm never worried about that, and that's huge for me, you know. Whenever I want to be flawless, I reach for the Gucci, and I also reach for Miss Natasha. And that's the reason why this ranks in number one. Let's read on Natasha's description. So Natasha High Glam Concealer is a long-lasting creaseless concealer to address all kinds of skin discoloration, from dark circles to hyperpigmentation and acne. It is available in 56 ultra-inclusive shades with 4 multi-purpose undertones. She has neutral, she has peachy, she has rosy, she has yellow. She really has it all. She also has correctors within this line. I love this concealer. The coverage is just outstanding. I love that it also has, you know, it is high packed with skincare ingredients. It is very hydrating and nourishing to the under eyes, and it just looks flawless, friends. Like, this is the most flawless concealer that I have in my collection. Every time that I wear it, I just look and feel extra flawless. Natasha did an amazing job with this concealer. I kid you not. It lasts all day on my under eyes. It never creases or sets weird. It's not, you know, too drying or too hydrating. I always set my under eyes no matter what, but again, this just looks extra flawless on my under eyes. And so let's do a little swatch beside the Gucci. And this is truly creamy. It has so much coverage. And now that I saw the Gucci swatch, I have to add that the Gucci cell sets, Natasha does not. Natasha has a little bit more of glue, you know, like dew and glow. You can see that. Natasha is also a little bit more thicker and creamier, but I don't have an issue with the texture. Again, it doesn't settle on my smile lines. It doesn't settle on my under eyes. I could use it all over the face. I love that I could use it all over my face too, because it's not gonna congest my pores. It has no pore cloggers. Amen. And so yeah, Natasha is my baby. These two are so good. They're the best concealers in my book. I love them. So now let's do a little boarding situation. I want to come close and I'll show you both under eyes. Let me know which one. If any difference you see, drop them below. Hold on. Side, remember, I have High Glam by Natasha, and on this side I have Gucci. But do keep in mind that I did go ahead and build up the Gucci, because I always do. So this one is looking like it's lacking a little coverage, but I did apply a light second layer of it on this eye. But these are them, both looking flawless and very beautiful. All right, friends, and that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoy my concealer ranking. I hope that you appreciate all the swatches and application on all these concealers. I need to hear from you. What did you think? Which concealer was your favorite upon application and after setting? And which is your go-to everyday concealer for glam and then for natural makeup? Go. I'm reading your comments. Thank you, friends, for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.